From the OVC Football Media Day here in Nashville, Rashad Smith, better known as Spider-Man, Jacksonville State linebacker. I know it goes back to your high school days, but I understand even in your dorm room, you had some Spider-Man stuff. Is it still up?
I have Spider-Man everything. It's ridiculous. And it's crazy. This nickname is being pushed overboard. Like when people find out, okay, my birthday's coming up or Christmas coming up, they'll give me some Spider-Man, you know, and it's kind of crazy. I'm 23 years old, you know. So,
But now you also sign when you do autographs. Don't you sign as Spider-Man like that too?
yeah, I mean, I guess I bring it on myself, but it's cool. I mean, that's my nickname, and I really love that. Like, it's funny because when I first got here, my parents came to check me out in the dorm, and they're like, I see Rashad Smith at Sparkman Hall, and then they're like, who's Rashad Smith? They really didn't know my name.
Oh, wow, that's pretty good. I know it goes back to high school. How did an assistant coach or somebody coaching high school gave you the name?
I used to wear Spider-Man clothing all the time. Had little haircuts and everything. So one day I was at practice and I did a little move and stopped the offense. And my assistant coach, he was like, "There you go, Spider-Man!" And then ever since then,
It stuck, right?
yeah.
All right, let's talk some football. You've been the leading tackler the last 2 years. New scheme. You got a grasp of it, you and the other guys on defense. Do you like what the defense that you're going to be running this year?
Oh yeah, I love it because it's going to force offense to turn over the ball, and with that, we're gonna score on defense a lot more. So I'm impressed with what it is. We're working on speed. We're going to be always conditioned. We're going to be ready for every situation. So it's really putting the offense in a bind. That's what it's doing. It's putting the offense in a bind where they're not going to know where we're coming. We're disguising. We're going to be putting a lot of speed. We're always going to have somebody rush, so it's going to be really interesting.
And now as far as your position, are you doing basically the same thing from the linebacker spot? Does it give you more freedom? Any changes from the past?
I'm more of a, how do you say, it's really more like I'm putting more rush on the defense. I mean, on the offense, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to, like I said, it's going to free up the time. It's going to, the man-to-man, we're going to have a lot more, how do you say, leverage on that, because we're going to always have somebody coming in trying to crash. We're going to be stunting and blitzing, so it's really interesting.
Your senior season, 5th year in the program. Is it hard to believe you've been at Jacksonville State 5 years and now this is going to be it?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like I just graduated high school and then I'm like about to graduate college. I'm like, man, this is insane, you know? And I mean, I see now, like, just like what they always say, you don't take anything for granted because you never know. The years really do fly by, and I see that now because I swear, like, Ole Miss didn't even seem like it was just yesterday. So,
Wow. And I know you guys have been putting in a lot of work. Has this summer been different than summers past?
we more of a, how you say, conditioned. We conditioned usually more summers, but now we've really gotten bigger this summer in the weight room because we learned how to lift in the spring. So now, like, we'll go in there by ourselves and we'll work with each other and try to hype each other up and get where we need to be.
I know from the spring practices and then the off-season workouts that I've seen, it's high energy and up-tempo all the time, isn't it?
It is. It's crazy. When I first got out there in the spring, I was dying. I was like, there's no way in the world we could practice like that. And I just had to adapt. And now I'm like I said, it's a high tempo offense, a high tempo defense, and I never ran a defense like that. It's pretty cool.
Well, practices are, I mean, there's no downtime really. I mean, you're doing something all the time, aren't you?
Yeah, it's like and this is really cool about it because I've never seen a practice where you're not on the sideline. If you're on the sideline, you're not gonna be on the side. Sorry, you're gonna be on the other side of the practice field practicing while the other team is practicing, and you're gonna switch, and it literally keeps you doing something. It gets you conditioned. You're always learning. You're not gonna be on the sideline talking and not paying attention. You're always learning, and that's what's really cool about it.
Eastern Illinois picked to win the league. I don't know if you knew that or not. And then Eastern Kentucky second, Tennessee State third, Jacksonville State fourth. How does that make you feel?
It makes me pretty mad. I mean, like I said, we're gonna change. There's gonna be something that I've never experienced before this year. In OVC, they're gonna be put in a bind. That's what we're gonna try to do, is put them in a bind. We're gonna try to make a lot of turnovers, and like I said, we're gonna try to score because I feel confident. I mean, I love what I've been doing. I love what we've been doing, and I see like there's some amazing things happening in defense. I can't really get into it, but you know.
August 1st, when it gets started. August 31st, the first game. I guess you're a little anxious and ready for that. And will it mean more to you now, you think, as a senior, that, 12 games left in your career?
It is. It's going to mean a lot more to me. I'm going to have to really pick it up as a vocal leader because I'm more of the person that's like a lead by example. I'm like, if somebody's doing bad, I'm like, hey, come on, pick it up. If I'm doing bad, I'm going to try to psych myself out and do better and try to focus. And I'm going to have to be more of a vocal leader to really show the younger group that we need to really get to where we need to be in this year. I mean, and I regret, like in the past, not being more of a vocal leader, but now I learned that's what you got to do. You got to stand up and not just lead by example. You got to talk to people, communicate.
Thank you, sir. Good luck this evening.